welcome to 5 Minutes, your fast track to smarter insurance technology and stronger leadership. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to show you a better way to lead, scale, and innovate without the chaos. Let's get into it. How do you, Katie, think about, we talk a lot about the day-to-day tasks that we have from an operational perspective, and we can call that tactical stuff that we've got to do, right? But then now we introduce this concept of being strategic in an operating unit. What does that look like in practice, and how do you balance that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, because a lot of operational leaders, especially mid-level leaders, are focused so much on the day-to-day work and solving the problem, that they don't dedicate the time, the space, and the resources on transforming your business. As an ops leader, you need to always be running your business and transforming your business. Those are the two pieces, the two sides of the coin, the two pieces of your role. How do you balance it? It depends on the organization. If you're scaling and growing, you need to always ask yourself, well, what is the true problem I'm solving here? And what is the client willing to pay for? I can have lots of exciting innovation projects, pet projects that I want to do because they're fun, and I think my team is going to enjoy it. But if the client is not willing to pay for it, and it's not going to be something that drives us towards our future state, it's not going to work. I think the second thing that ops leaders need to have real good clarity. They don't need to have all the answers, because nobody has all the answers, but they need to have intuition and insight on what the future of their ops is going to look like 12 months from now, 18 months from now. Are we going more towards self-service? We're talking about insurance. Are we going to be eliminating agents? And the answer, in my view, is absolutely not. We're going to continue to have agents. There are lots of people that, like my mom, she would only buy insurance talking to an agent. But my 19-year-old son will never buy insurance talking to an agent. He only wants to do self-service. So I think understanding where we're going to be and then solving both of those problems, that's the strategic kind of focus. And how much time you spend on tactical versus strategic will depend on the organization, your resources, your technology team. But the problems can always be solved. It's either a process problem, a people problem, or a technology problem. And how do you rebalance? It depends on which resources you have and, where your organization is going.
Katie, as you think about the organizations that you've led, you've led massive teams across multiple continents. And I'm thinking about the challenge that a lot of leaders, including myself to some extent, have managing just teams in the US, but in multiple remote locations, right? But talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you do to create or to maintain team cohesion, strategic focus, the right level of operational measurement in such a diffuse organization.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's a challenge that I particularly enjoy, especially because I love working with Gen Z and millennials. And I think there is a new way to lead. And the new way to lead involves humility, involves community, and curiosity. There's a book that I really love. Edward Hess wrote it. It's called Humility is the New Smart. And leaders now don't necessarily need to have all the answers. In fact, answers and knowledge, it's at our fingertips. We can ask ChatGPT, and I don't want to be cavalier about it, but there are lots of experts around skills and knowledge. What leaders need to know is recognize good ideas, and by soliciting good ideas from your team, whether your team is US based, whether they're based in India, in the Philippines, wherever they are, treating everyone like one team and creating that opportunity for them to bring ideas to the problems that they're facing day to day. I think that's one part of humility and curiosity. Creating a community is very important as well. And community can be created virtually. It does not have to be co-located. We do not have to be all in the same office. We learned through COVID that our teams can be dispersed, and we still can create a strong culture. But how do you create a strong culture? It's by hiring people that will fit in your culture, hiring for the future, trying to get people that will raise your culture. And so that means sometimes investing in people and resources that actually are more skilled and more expensive. And creating that community where people feel that this is not just coming in at 9 or 8 or whatever, doing my job and going. This is a place where food and fun and conversations and talking about your pets and having a Slack channel or a Teams channel where you share birthdays and pets and kids pictures. I have found that people want to be part of a strong community.
Yeah.
They want to be seen, they want to be recognized, and they value that. And so creating that virtually is a little bit harder than creating it
Not impossible.
in person, but we have to keep trying.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.